That's why we support, school choice, because that's about empowering parents and families to make the best option for, pick the best educational option for their kids. Mr. Galvin is the opposite of that. He spends your money because he knows how to spend it better than you know how to spend it.
Right.
He'll tell your kids what they can be exposed to because he thinks it's fine and okay for them to be exposed to this kind of content. He believes that he knows what kind of city you should have, where it becomes more and more difficult to have the flexibility and freedom to use your car because we're doing these 15-minute cities. He knows better. That is the mindset of Democrats who want to socialize this country and socialize Arizona. And we are literally ground zero.
Yes, we are.
I mean, the presidential election may come down to Maricopa County. Who do you want on that board?
Exactly.
In November, I mean, I won't be sworn in until January. But just knowing I'm coming honestly, is a huge deal.
Even knowing that they have that many more months to do damage is actually frightening when you think about it. If you know what they're doing, you would understand that every month is a significant amount of damage that they could actually do to your county or state. You need to go to the meetings and find out. You can get them online. You can Google your board of supervisors, and they all put them online, so you can watch all the meetings firsthand as if you were there. At least get educated about what they're doing to you in your county. If you live in America, these are things accessible to us. We should utilize all the tools and resources given to us, because ignorance is not bliss. Okay, it's just ignorance. And then that just leads to ignorance around your circle, because if you don't know and your friends don't know, you guys are voting. You can't vote if you don't know what's happening or who you're voting for. I mean, these are really important features of our society and that we have in America that other places don't. We should be using them to their full advantage. And it's sad to know that people do not do that. I just don't think they know how important it is, first of all.
And they don't. And that's also been facilitated by a press that purposely doesn't bring attention.
Well, they dumb everything down, they minimize everything. Exactly. They highlight what they want and they downplay what they don't want you to know about.
Right, exactly. So you really have to take it upon yourself to get the information. Galvin is banking on PCs and the district, not caring enough and not really understanding what's at stake. He doesn't think that we have it in us, the grassroots movement, to make this change.
Right.
Him and everybody who supports him, which is all of the establishment, they don't think, they're calling our bluff, grassroots. They're calling our bluff. And, we have to call their bluff. And we need to show that we can get conservatives into office.
Right, exactly.
And we're not afraid of them. And it doesn't matter what they think they have. We have the talking points, we have the people, and we have the momentum.
That's right. And the knowledge, really, to do the best for Arizonans. It really comes down to, and your core belief system, too. You can have all the other stuff, but if you don't have the core beliefs, the conservative values that many of us find so important for our families,
quality of life,
our quality of life, our future for our children, whatever else you're doing is not really that helpful, to tell you the truth, in that seat, because it's not doing what we need you or want you to do, which is protect us ultimately from the money flying out the window, from these crazy initiatives, the green stuff happening around us. We don't have a say.
And
the crime, the border.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of hot topic issues in Arizona. We have all the hot topic issues, actually. We are the hot topic state in 2024. And we're hot. Yeah, I mean, it goes hand in hand. So we want to know that we're going to get somebody in there who does have those conservative values. So let me ask you this. This is kind of off topic, but I know you were an ASU graduate.
Yes.
So just side note here, we'll wrap it up soon, but they just had some protests yesterday or the day before on ASU. They were in Tempe. They had the tents, anti-Israeli protests. I mean, how do you feel about that, even just as a graduate in our state? We have enough issues now, they're bringing this. Would you like to say where you stand on any of that?
Oh, pro-Israel, I mean, my God.
I mean, I'm not putting on the spot. I'm just saying, just in general, even the protests, I mean, I'm sure you're free speech all the way, but when do you find, I mean, are you in the camp as I am, when you're disrupting a campus, that's not okay.
Well, we dealt with this at the legislature. So my last day in office in the Senate, was met with a riot. And so it was, you know, here we are doing the people's business, and we had activists and others that were upset with the bill. And instead of just voicing their opposition respectfully and peacefully, they rioted. And actually, some of the videos that I took are the only videos we have of it from inside. And they were banging and kicking on the door, and they were hitting it with sticks. We had to have the police come, and it was riot gear. Then we had to shut it down. Then there was smoke. What are those?
The smoke bombs.
The smoke bombs they
to
threw
to
disperse them, and it was really, really scary. Then we all had to be ushered into the basement until they could gain control of the Senate. And you don't have a right to disrupt and put me in a dangerous position.
Right. Neither of those things work for me either. Free speech all the way, 100%. But once you start impeding anybody's really foot traffic across any area, that is the problem point for me. So, you know, I'm sure that you have your own feelings too about ASU getting involved in this at any level. I mean, our institutions are really there for learning, and they're to be guiding our youth and even the older people who go back to school, you know, to just make your lives better in your education. They shouldn't be, I don't think, as much of activism as they actually allow on campus.
I mean, you could, if you want, I mean, we could spend a whole segment on ASU and just how grossly mismanaged they are, all of the reckless spending, and how they have gotten away from the core purpose, you know, of their existence.
Education. The education.
Right. I mean, exactly.
Yeah,
they are off the rails. I mean, they are a behemoth.
Yes.
That needs to be handled, and they're not going to be handled if we don't have conservatives in office. I don't even care.
Across the board.
Across the board, right? Exactly. Just across the board.
Budget is of utmost importance.
It's really huge. Controlling the purse strings, understanding that budget. By the way, he likes to be very dishonest. Galvin will tell you all the time that, you know, it's a conservative budget, but because I know how to read these things, they've grown operating costs by 6%. This is on raises and pensions, again, in a time when people are being crushed by inflation.
They can't even make their bills.
They can't even make their bills.
I know. People think Arizona is a rich state, and we do have a lot of money in Arizona. There's no doubt about that, as does all the states. Like, every state has an influx of course. Everybody has their pockets. But we have a lot of working people here who are here all year round.
We have a lot of retirees.
A lot of retirees. And it is, well, my folks are 96 and 89. And it's weird to see them on a budget. Like, they've never really talked about that our whole lives. And to see them, my mom with the checkbook and paying bills, or something happens in the house, and really like analyzing if she wants to fix something now. Like, that's a really weird place to see your folks at when they've worked their whole lives and have been very comfortable, and everything's regressing now to that point. It's troubling for my kids growing up in this area to know if they're going to be able to afford anything ever.
I know.
And you have 3 of your own.
I completely agree.
It's
about our quality of life. And the biggest contributors to a quality of life is making sure government is small, out of the way, and people have choice and options and freedom, and can be in a place where they can pursue their dreams, their endeavors, that they're, you know, be in control of their future.
Right.
Galvin, the Democrats, you know, Biden, all of that, they want to control it for you. I mean, if you boil this all down, it's really a fight for like who we are. And are we America, which, you know, is a beacon of freedom? Are we going to go socialist and we're going to look like all of these other countries? Canada, I mean, Europe. My mom's from Europe. I used to live there. I'm very aware of what that looks like. Your health care goes right into the toilet.
That's right.
You have, it's a culture of,
it's collectivism.
It's collectivism. It's there's no individual. But
at its worst, collectivism. You can collectively do stuff together as like your community.
Well, your goal can be we work together, but
not government collectivism when they're doing everything for you and you literally have no say. And I have a lot of Canadian friends who come down here and they hate it. They absolutely hate it.
The prosperity we have is, you know, and the ability to take care of yourself and to pursue, you know, life and liberty and happiness comes from our representative government and our freedom. And right now, that is what is at risk if we do not win the Board of Supervisors and start taking over these races. It will be lost. It will take decades and decades, if not more, to get that back.
If we can, yeah.
I mean, if we can. And just to emphasize that too, Maricopa County is the largest district in the state of Arizona. There are 15 counties.
Right.
The Democrats are not going to care about one other county if they can get a hold of Maricopa, whether it's through rhinos or through their own. And then it's the 4th largest in the country.
I know. People don't realize how important we are here.
Right. And then it's the fastest growing in the country. So we have so many people coming here. That's why this is a battle for who controls Maricopa County. We have an opportunity July 30th. I hope voters take it and show the establishment that we mean business, and we're going to turn the state around.
That's right. And where can they find you, Michelle, if they want to get involved in any way?
Electmichelle.com is the website. Real simple. And if they know you directly, you can help facilitate a meeting. I will go to your house, meet you for coffee, small groups, large groups. I mean, I'm very excited about this campaign. If I may also, I'm endorsed by over a dozen elected officials. That's very unheard of when you're challenging someone who's already there. So it's Abe Hamadeh, it's Wendy Rogers, again, Joe Chaplick, Alex Culloden.
Who are my representatives?
Who are your your representatives? Scottsdale City Council member, Fountain Hills Council member.
It's a really all over the valley.
There's even parts on the west side. I can't remember them all. They're on the website. But I'm proud of that because I can unite the party, and it shows you that former State Senator Kelly Townsend, it shows you they know what's at stake, and they know that I can do it, and they know that I have the policy chops and the experience to take on the staff, the establishment, the Democrats, and anyone else who's going to get in our way.
Right.
So I think that really bodes not well. I mean, it bodes well for the campaign, but I also it's flattering to know that they support me that way, and they believe I can get the job done. Electmichelle.com. I have yard signs. I've got 500 in my garage.
If you need
and
a yard sign,
and I need to park the car.
Get online and email her because she wants to give those out. We want to get the word out that she's running for this position of Board of Supervisors and to challenge Thomas Galvin. We want to get out the part that there's an election on July 30th.
Yes,
get involved. The primary is coming up. Also, get online, do your research, look up your candidates. And you can just Google their names or just Google candidates in Maricopa County. You don't even have to know what's going on to find the information. Honestly, I've learned so much in the last couple of 2-3 years that I've been involved. It's really eye-opening. I was raising kids for 20 years, so I really wasn't paying attention, as many people don't when they're raising kids. But you know what? It affects our kids the most. And at some point, we all have to realize that that's the part we need to get involved in, because I won't always be here to fight for them. They're young adults now. They're going to be working and paying taxes and participating in our government, so to speak, as yours will be. And we are paving the way for their best future and their success in their life. And if we don't do it, I mean, who is going to do it?
Just like the people before us did.
That's right.
That's
right. And we had it pretty good. So I would like to be equally as good for them. So I really thank you, Michelle, for having me today at your house.
This is wonderful.
Very kind of you.
Oh, absolutely.
And to be accommodating for me. And get educated, get involved however you can, learn who your candidates are, be educated before you vote. Don't necessarily take the word of somebody online or your next door neighbor, although they may be valuable. They may not really know what your values are specific to the candidates you're voting for. So you're going to go to electmichelle.com if you'd like to get involved and help her in any way. Donations are always appreciated for all our candidates. They're heavily funded on the other side for those who run against. And so we just need to be mindful of what we want for our state, our future, and our families. And I thank you guys all for listening today. This is Patriot Mom007 with Michelle Ugenti-Rita here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Check out the Board of Supervisors race.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. This was wonderful.
President's former National Security Advisor, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, pleading guilty today to lying to the FBI.
Flynn knew exactly how the system worked. He knew exactly what the intel world had been up to. He understood its funding. They had to get rid of Flynn.
There was a moment where I just felt like I was drowning. And so I'm in there with these other political appointees. They're all supposed to go in there and tell what they believe to be the truth. What they did was they took my assessment and they wanted me to change it. And I was like, I'm not changing it.
He was, by definition, the most dangerous possible person for Donald Trump to hire.
President Obama said, but I do have one specific recommendation. Stay away from Michael Flynn. He's bad news.
Over time, instead of being pounded down below the surface of the ocean, we started to fight. I'm now above the surface.
If we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.